Homebuyers in Missouri. There is a form you're being asked to sign that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars if you don't understand it. It's called a buyer's agency contract, and breaking it can literally get you sued. Let's talk about how to protect yourself. Hey guys, I'm Kelsey Davis, your Missouri realtor. I help buyers feel confident, informed, and protected from day one all the way to closing. I'm seeing more and more buyers in Missouri being handed buyer's agency contracts to sign, often in an iPad, in the car, or just slammed on the kitchen table at a showing, and they have no idea what they just agreed to. In this video, I'm going to explain what a buyer's agency contract actually is, why buyers are being required to sign it, how a real buyer ended up owing $24,000 after breaking one, and how to avoid that happening to you. Stick around to the end, and I'll share the exact questions you should ask before you ever sign one. Let's start simple. A buyer's agency contract is a contract where you, as the buyer, hire a specific agent or brokerage to represent you in your home search and purchase. In most versions, it's exclusive, which means you agree to only work with that one brokerage during the time period in the contract. In exchange, that brokerage owes you certain duties like loyalty and confidentiality, using reasonable skill and care, promoting your best interest in negotiations and paperwork. Those fiduciary duties are what turn someone from the professional door opener to your actual advocate. Okay, here are a couple of really important twists. Agents now have to get a written buyer agreement signed before providing brokerage services like showing homes or writing offers. Many forms spell out how your agent gets paid and what happens if the seller doesn't offer enough commission. So when you're signing this, you're not just signing permission to show homes. You're signing a legal contract that can follow you even if you stop working with that specific agent. Now, let's talk about why this matters so much. Recently, a buyer in Florida signed an exclusive buyer-broker agreement with a firm called, let's say, ABC Properties. Later, they went through and bought a home with a completely different brokerage, while the original agreement was still in effect. The first brokerage took the buyer to arbitration for breaching that agreement. The arbitrator took one look at that contract and said the agreement was clear and unambiguous. The buyer admitted they didn't really read it, and complaints like the agreement was too long or I didn't even get much help did not excuse breaking the contract. The outcome? The buyer was ordered to pay $24,000 to that first brokerage. That amount represented the 3% commission on the roughly $800,000 home they bought with someone else. So even though that case was in Florida, this lesson applies everywhere. When you sign a buyer's agency agreement, you are creating a binding contract. If you later buy with another agent without properly ending that first agreement, you can still owe that first brokerage their fee. I'll link the article about this case down below if you want to read the details. Let's walk through a few sections of a typical Missouri buyer's agency contract that you absolutely need to understand before you sign. Here are the big ones. Term/duration. How long does this agreement last? Days, months, a specific date? Exclusivity. Is it exclusive to one brokerage, meaning you promise not to work with other agents during that time? Compensation. What percentage or dollar amount is the broker owed? If the seller doesn't offer enough, are you responsible for making up the difference at closing? Scopes of service. What exactly is the broker promising to do for you? Showings, negotiations, paperwork, coordination with lenders and inspectors. Termination/cancellation. Can you cancel early? Does it have to be in writing? Is there any fee for canceling? This is where you slow down. Ask questions. Don't let anyone rush you through this, even if you're excited to go see a house. Life happens. Sometimes an agent just isn't the right fit for you, and that's okay. If you've already signed a buyer's agency contract and you're thinking about switching, follow these steps. Step 1, pull out that agreement and read the start date, end date, and termination section. Step 2, Talk to the brokerage. Ask if they will release you in writing effective on a specific date. Step 3, get that release signed before you start working with a new agent. If you skip that and just start over with someone else, you risk owing that first brokerage a commission on the home you buy, just like what happened in that Florida case. A good agent will never be offended that you want to understand what you're signing, and a true professional would rather release you than have you feel trapped or resentful. Here are some easy, non-lawyery questions you can ask before you sign a buyer-broker agreement in Missouri. Is this agreement exclusive and for how long? If I decide to change agents, how do I cancel this? In what scenarios would I personally owe you money at closing? Can you walk me through this compensation section line by line? What exactly will you do for me that I wouldn't get without this agreement? If the agent can't or won't answer those questions calmly and clearly, that's your first red flag to pause. If you're a home buyer in Missouri and have questions about the buyer's agency contract, you don't have to guess your way through it. Let's talk. Send me a message, give me a call. I'd also be happy to set up a buyer's consultation and answer any questions you have. If you found this helpful, make sure to hit like, subscribe for more straight talk real estate tips, and drop a comment with your questions about the buyer's agency agreement. There's a lot of confusion right now, and trust me, you're not alone. Remember, you're not just buying a house, you're hiring representation. Make sure the contract you sign actually protects you. See you guys later.